Hey, what's up, guys? Tasting our toasts here. Welcome to the Dr. Pepper Ultimate Access pregame show. We are starting out with a very sick MLG tournament. How are you feeling, Artosis?
Tasteless, I'm so happy. We had to miss Anaheim last year, and we're finally here.
I know.
It looks like a great crowd out there.
Yeah, it's going to be, I am so amped, man. We have 3 different tournaments going on here. Tell us a little bit about them, Artosis.
Well, I mean, of course, we do have the Blizzard Championships for U.S., and we have a lot of players here for that. And a lot of players are actually playing both that and the MLG tournament.
Yeah.
And the MLG tournament is absolutely insane, man. A huge prize pool, a gigantic prize pool, and of course the Kespa one that we just talked about a minute ago, which is, I mean, 8 of the most famous, winningest esports stars ever.
This is a huge moment in esports history. And of course, don't forget, we do have Heart of the Swarm playable here. I think we have 200 PC units here. So go down and check that out. Again, it's a totally unique, awesome experience.
Oh, I can't wait to get out there at some point and play that Tasteless, try out all those new units. It's going to be so much fun.
Yeah, I know. So definitely check that out, guys. It's going to be a lot of fun. And again, it's such a thrill to be here. Guys, make some noise for all of our viewers at home. Let them know how much fun this is. All right, and again, this is the 60th MLG.
That's
a lot of MLGs.
Oh my God. Yeah. MLG's getting a little bit old, but you know what? They keep on coming out with new and better things. In fact, let's take a look at the prize pool to show you guys how much it's grown just in the last year. Look at that. First place is $25,000. Add another 0 onto there. It's more than that. Now, if you look all the way down to 16th, I mean, a lot of prize money still.
Yeah, I mean, it's insane because when you look at the MLGs from the previous year, the prize money was nowhere near that high. So it really goes to show you how much MLG's growing and esports is growing as well.
Indeed, it is Tasteless. Now let's take a look at the format of this tournament. We do start out with pool play tonight after this pregame show. Of course, it's going to be a little Polt Stefano first. Pretty insane match. But anyways, the pools have 16 players in it right now. 4 pools with 4 players each, and they came out of the arena. Now, 2 more players will be added to each group out of the open bracket. And these pools, no one's going to get eliminated from them. It's just for ranking into the championship bracket. So that's what we'll end up seeing on Sunday.
Yeah, and of course, today we're going to be focusing on the pool play now. And I have to say, all 4 of these pools look so terrifying.
Well, let's take a look at these terrifying pools.
Let's take a look at Pool A now. Now here in Pool A, we have Violet, Inori, Leenock, Ryung, and then, of course, 2 other mystery players who will eventually be filtered into there.
Well, DJ Wheat and Apollo, what do you guys think about this group? Who is going to take first place?
Well, absolutely. I mean, I agree with you. All of the groups look deadly. But in this particular group, Ryung, Inori, definitely very strong players. But of these 4, I just... I want to focus a little bit on Violet. Leenock is certainly, he's been an MLG champion, but Violet, lately he's taken an arena. He's been practicing very much for his matches versus Leenock and Inori and Ryung, having beat them before, so I'm going to have to say that he'll be coming out of his group.
I mean, Violet's just come off his MLG Spring Arena win, and this guy's on fire at the moment.
Absolutely.
I mean, he's taken the Zerg of that group away from Leenock. I mean, you look at that and you say, oh, well, Leenock did win Providence, but Violet is the one to look out for in that group, but you can't ignore, Inori. I mean, that guy is a dangerous Protoss player in there.
Agree. And I think additionally, any more Protoss come into there, that's going to give Violet, I think, a little bit of a problem.
Yeah, I agree with you guys completely. I've been blown away by how well Violet's been playing.
Violet has transformed into a completely new player. He's actually one of the smartest Zergs in the world. You just watch him, it's like maybe his macro isn't as good as DRG's, but the way he looks at the game, the intelligence behind his moves, I definitely got to agree. I think that this guy has a good chance of taking first place in that pool.
Let's go ahead and take a look at Pool B. Because Pool B, again, another interesting group. Symbol, Dream, Grubby, and Marinkin. Apollo and Wheat, what are your guys' thoughts on this group?
Well, that's a tough group. Marine King does stand out, but another guy that stands out just as much is Symbol.
Right.
This guy has been on everybody's lips recently. I mean, he's just been performing so well. He's risen so fast in the scene. And he's definitely a contender in that group.
Yeah, I'm going with Symbol and MKP, but you can't count out the younger player Dream, who's certainly come onto the scene, just bursting out. And Grubby, who says that he has been focusing very specific builds for the opponents that will be in his group. And I'll tell you what, Grubby's an accomplished player. When he can put his mind to it, he certainly can accomplish a lot. So we'll be, watching to see if he'll actually be able to overcome some of the huge hurdles in this group.
Yeah. Well, that would be a huge deal if Grubby could actually place in this group, maybe top 1, top 2, even top 3. It's going to be very hard because those Koreans are so top end.
Yeah, and again, I want to kind of echo what you guys said. Symbol is the player everybody's been talking about. He's had such phenomenal results lately. I've been blown away. I heard a lot of Korean pro gamers talking about him a few months ago, hyping him, saying, this guy is going to be one of the best, but I had no idea he'd have the kind of results that we're seeing now.
He's just crushing everyone everywhere right now. It's absolute madness, and I wouldn't be surprised to see him take that group even over Marine King.
Yeah, I have to agree with you on that. Let's go ahead and take a look at Pool C. Again, all these groups so scary. Stefano, Pult, Alicia, and Gonzi. Marcus and Paula, what are you guys thinking?
I mean, Stefano and Pult, right? Like, everyone knows that is the rivalry that we need to look out for. I just want to throw some comments towards Gonzi, because here's this consistent player that to me is like a hot potato. You do not want to be holding it when he explodes, because you know how talented he is. But lately, he just has not been performing. So, he's always a guy that I've got my eye on. But Stefano and Pult, can Stefano be that foreign hope yet again? Or will Pult knock him down? That's going to be our first match. Apollo?
That's going to be our first match. And that could actually decide the winner of that group, depending on who wins that.
I mean,
we can't count out Alicia, and of course, we can't out Ganzi either. But, it's going to be a difficult group for those guys at the bottom there. So definitely going to put Stefano on advancing through, in my opinion, there.
I do agree with you guys, but you got to look at Alicia and say, well, you're known for PVT kind of. You're very good at that match, but there are already 2 Terrans in here. You're a little bit underestimated. He has that underdog factor coming in.
Absolutely, and I think Stefano is one of the only non-Korean players that really holds his own when facing off against top Korean pros. And, of course, I'm really excited to be casting Stefano against Pult very soon.
Another super top foreigner player is in Group D. Let's take a look at that one. And in this group, we have MC, Hart, DRG, and Sake. This is my pick for the group of death. Guys, what do you think?
Oh, absolutely the group of death. We were kind of talking about it before the show anyway, is that you look at MC, champion, DRG, champion, Hart, he's had consistent top 3 and 8 places in MLG events. And Sake, who's just destroyed a bunch of Koreans in the last matchup. So I offer you guys this. What happens when the 2 great players come out of the open bracket and into that one? Then it really is it's going to be the most devastating group of all.
I think a lot of people may disregard Sake, but if you look at his results in MLG, he has shown great results. And I actually had the pleasure to cast him playing against Don Regu, and he narrowly lost in the Spring Arena. He lost 2-1 and could have taken the series. That guy, they cannot count him out.
Yeah, Sake really does know what he's doing. This guy is an old school player. He's been playing StarCraft 1 since, back in 2002 or 3 or so. He's really knows what he's doing. If he could do anything in that group of death, though, I would still be a bit surprised.
Yeah, I think you're totally right on with the group of death factor, especially, with Hart in there. I feel like he's always overlooked or overshadowed by some of these other players, but the fact is that guy can kick some serious ass.
Yeah, as soon as you think Hart isn't going to kill everyone, he kills everyone. So you got to watch out.
And, of course, let's not forget, these are not the only players in the tournament. We have, the open bracket here, and this is just a sample of some of the players that are in there. There's actually many more that are very deadly. As you can see here.
Man, look at this. Players like, of course, old fan favorites, Idra, Rhett, Puma, Huck. But then, of course, we have players like Thorzane, JYP, Oz. These really strong guys right now. Alive, he's been killing it. This is a huge lineup.
Yeah, it's insane. But, of course, you got to remember that when you're in the open bracket, what a marathon that actually is. How many games you're going to have to play. It's obviously, one of the things that makes MLG so interesting is it's not a tournament where you just prepare for one specific opponent. In fact, you're going to have to be good in every matchup on every map. So hopefully these guys can have the stamina if they manage to get deep into, deep out of the open bracket to actually produce the results once they get that far.
And don't forget, some players are actually playing that and the U.S. Nationals, like Idra, for instance,
so
playing both.
It's going to be a lot of fun. Well, guys, that does it for the Dr. Pepper Ultimate Access pregame show. Thank you so much for joining us. We're going to get Stefano against Pult coming up here in just a little bit, so stay tuned.
Winner of the MLG Winter Championship, Marine King Prime.
DRG, winner of the MLG Spring Arena #1. The winner of the Spring Arena #2, Empire Violet.
We have the championship bracket. The open bracket has been sold out. It is massive this year. $78,000 online for the top 8. Blizzard World Championship Series, 64 players will be fighting for $30,000. The Kespa Expo matches, first time Kespa players have ever been competing inside the United States. Part of the Swarm beta preview, and it will be amazing.